A few years ago, I was at a place and space in my life where I just knew I wanted to do more, honestly. I didn't know what I wanted to do. I didn't know how to do it, but I knew that I felt like I needed to do more. And I was really frustrated. I felt like I was on this hamster wheel. I was just like running in place, going nowhere. Everyone around me was like getting success, and I was just kind of like stuck. And one of the things that helped me was deep diving into my birth chart and looking at my North Node and my South Node. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, that's totally cool. I'm gonna go over it in this video, and I'm gonna share what worked for me. I'm gonna share the hacks that worked for me, and I'm gonna give you a bunch of journaling prompts and questions, if you don't wanna call them journaling prompts, questions that you can ask yourself that will help you kind of align with this to figure out your destiny, your purpose, things that are gonna make you feel more fulfilled, and ways to kind of look at life a little differently. And that is what we're gonna do in this video. So let's just get to it. I'm Donna Guerreros. I'm a nurse and I'm an artist from New York City. And I basically share my navigating of this dumpster fire that is life. And that is Earth School, if you want to call it. Yeah, sometimes we're winning and sometimes we're out here like, what am I doing? A few years ago, I was really like in the what am I doing phase. And so hopefully this helps you. And that's why I'm sharing it, because it really, really helped me. What is the North Node? What is the South Node? Basically, it's places in your birth chart, which is your natal chart. It's the astrology at the time that you were born. And you can go find that online. There's a bunch of free sources. You just Google free birth chart and you put in the time, date, and place that you were born, and you'll get it. And then from there, you go to North Node, South Node. Find out the signs that your North Node and South Node are in. And then from there, you look at the houses. I know this sounds complicated. Trust me, it's not. Once you throw the birth chart in, the birth chart figure outer thingy, you'll be able to get this information relatively quick. But once you get that North Node and South Node figured out, you're gonna look for the signs. Me, for instance, my North Node is in Leo, just like Beyonce. Who would have guessed it from watching this video? But my North Node is in Leo and my South Node is in Aquarius. Also, my North Node is in the 12th house and my South Node is in the 6th house. What does that mean? I'm gonna explain it, so hopefully this is a little bit easier for you. Basically, my North Node is in Leo. It says that I am meant to embody really being out there, really putting myself in the spotlight, sharing all the things that I've learned so other people can learn from them and it can assist them. That's why I made this YouTube channel. And my South Node, which is kind of all the collections and experiences from my past lives, if you're into that and you believe it. If not, whatever, forget I said that. But the South Node is the area of my existence where I feel really, really comfortable. It's the things I'm really, really good at. It's kind of me resting on my laurels. It's all the things I've kind of mastered from past lives or stuff that I've come into this life, just kind of like been able to do easy, whether that's just been really great at comprehension and, language and being awful and terrible at math. There's areas where we come in that we're really overdeveloped and areas that are underdeveloped. And again, that's why we're here, right? To grow and to work on these things. And what happens is a lot of the times we get stuck in that South Node energy because it's easy, because it's good. It's because we're great at it. And it's like, if this comes easy to me, why am I going to push myself? Who wants to struggle? Who wants to sacrifice? Who wants to have to do things 3, 4, 5 times until you get it right and do multiple iterations? Not me. It drives me insane. But guess what? From looking at my birth chart, I found out that that's exactly what I had to do in order to step into my North Node and to step into this Leo energy. And I had to get over the fact that I always want to be behind the scenes and I wanted to be that photographer who kind of, photographs people and makes them look really good. And I had to step out and I had to be in front of the camera. I also was going to have to spend a lot of time learning things and letting go of the fact that I want everything to be perfect, but also being able to pay attention to the details and put my own spin on stuff. And again, Beyonce Knowles Carter has the same energy and the same setup. And I looked to her because she was a celebrity who I admired and who I was a fan of and who I thought was doing a really, really great just example of what I kind of wanted to be if I embodied that energy, right? And again, I don't want to be Beyonce. Honestly, it seems like it's a lot of work. But again, using community, being able to use your stardom or your presence or your influence to create a community. She has the Beehive. I mean, I went to her concert this last week and honestly, greatest experience. You're just like talking to people and talking to strangers because you're like, oh, you like Beyonce? Cool, me too. And it's like already a vibe. So she's used her influence and she's used her celebrity to help create a community for people who can come together. She's created charities. And again, that was someone who I thought was doing it well. Other people who have North Nodes in my sign, Barack Obama, Justin Timberlake, Paris Hilton, Kim Kardashian. So again, one of the other big takeaways for me is that I'm a Aquarius South Node, right? And I'm a Leo North Node. Aquarius' South Node, they like to hang out in a community and they like to be a part of the group. Beyonce and Justin Timberlake, right? But the real kind of success for them and the real fulfillment comes when they step out on their own and they embody this energy and they take it all in and they do it on their own and they face the challenges of kind of being out there without the support and kind of doing things the way they want to do it without consulting the group first. That's how it shows up in my life. And I just wanted to give that example because if you go and you look at this North Node, South Node energy for yourself and you find celebrities who are doing it or politicians or authors or anyone you admire, even someone in your life, if like you're privy to their birth chart information, it kind of helps you see the example and you're kind of like, oh, I like how they're doing it in this aspect of their life. Not so crazy about how they're doing it over there. Or, oh, that's how they move through that difficult time. That's how they were able to be vulnerable. That's how they were able to share themselves or maybe stop oversharing. Again, your kind of challenges are going to show up for you and they're going to be different for everybody based on where these signs and these placements are. So the reason we kind of look at this stuff is because we want to find balance, right? We want to be able to move through our insecurities, our fears, the things that are holding us back. That's that South Node energy. In order to step into our power, in order to step into our destiny, into the things that are going to challenge us and ultimately fulfill us and help us find the most success, which would be that North Node energy. The house placements are very important in this, along with the sign, because the two kind of give you a lot of information, a lot of like insight into kind of how to move through this. It may help you figure out some of your deepest desires, things you didn't even think about. It may also help you figure out some of your talents, some of your abilities, and some of your skills that like you overlook or you don't even realize, you kind of do. And to kind of show you how to lean on those things and how to maybe perfect them or how to sharpen them and kind of develop them a little bit more so you can then kind of move through and step into this personal power and this personal abundance, we'll say. The North Node, what it is, I got some notes over here, is it's the soul's evolutionary path. Basically, it represents the areas of your life where the individual and the soul desires growth, where it desires success, and it desires development. And understanding the house and the sign placement again and help you figure out the qualities that you have within you that really need to shine, that everybody needs to see, as well as the experiences in your lifetime and the experiences you're gonna have that help develop you as a person and help make you just great and help you really like live your best life, so to speak. It helps you figure out your destiny and your life purpose. It helps you break patterns. It helps you get out of comfort zones and it helps you really push through. It helps you understand life lessons. And again, this North Node energy, it typically shows up in relationships. It typically shows up in people. So a lot of the times, you're going to have a relationship, whether that's a lover, whether that's a boss, whether that's a mentor or a coach. And again, these relationships can be super positive or they can be negative and they can be really hard to get through, but they help shape you. They help you kind of learn and they help you develop yourself. And how many times do we look at a situation or a job we had that might have been like awful, but it ended up leading us to something better? Or how many times do we have that boss who might have been a little hard on us or that coach who was hard on us, but they really saw potential in us that we didn't see and they helped push us a little bit. And now we're super grateful for that. And we've been able to accomplish a lot of things. So again, look at those life experiences, look at those people who have kind of come in and shaped you and helped you break out of those old habits or break out of that comfort zone to step into something that you really were just better and greater and just shining brighter, if that makes sense. It helps you align with your natural talents and skills, and it really helps you overcome karmic patterns. And if you're into like karma and things like that, basically they say that the nodes help release the karmic patterns or unresolved issues from your past that are holding you back. The goal is to get these things to be integrated, to look at the South Node and to look at the areas that come easy to you and figure out how they can support you and how they can serve you. Or also look like where it's holding you back and where maybe, you need to kind of move past it or take a little bit of that into that North Node energy. And again, the key is to find a healthy balance between these two things and to integrate them. Through learning how to balance these two things, you will unveil your soul's deepest desires. You will embrace your true and authentic self. You will also figure out areas of growth and be able to identify those areas where maybe you need to work on. You can reflect on your skills and talents, and you can also recognize your long-term goals. Because if you look at that North Node, and again, for me, when I looked at that North Node, it kind of showed me things that I really kind of wanted and had desired, but like never really told anybody. And I was like, oh, I can come into this. I can use all the stuff that I know in the South Node and comes easy to me. And I can use that to help work on these challenges that I know I'm going to face when I approach this North Node stuff. But yeah, I really want to do this and I really want to give it a try. And it was like seeing it on paper was like, well, you got a shot at it. It's in your birth chart. So it may happen for you, which also helped me explore potential career paths. And again, again, that's another thing looking at this North Node and South Node dynamic can do. It can help you kind of figure out what might be a good career path for you, or how to integrate some of the things that you're really good at into a potentially new career path. For me, which is stepping into leadership, putting myself a little bit more out there, and again, sharing things like I'm doing on this YouTube channel. The biggest thing from integrating the North Node and the South Node is figuring out passion, fulfillment, the things that light you up. And again, the things that are challenging that you can move through, because it will help you figure out your path and your purpose. And again, this stuff has not come easy to me, but once I move through it and once I figure it out, I feel so accomplished. Like every time I make one of these YouTube videos, like you have no idea, I made this one like maybe 15 times, and I just kept stopping and starting and stopping and starting. And then I'm like, girl, you got to stop trying to be so perfect. And it doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to get the message and the information across. And I hope I'm doing that. And like once I finish it and once it's edited, I just feel like, wow, I can't believe I did that. Let's do it again, because I do get so much fulfillment from it. So let's ask some questions and let's figure out how you can integrate this and things you can ask yourself. If you have a paper and a pen, or you want to pause, or you want a screen cap, whatever. First thing, North Node stuff. Ready? What does your North Node and sign and placement in the house represent to you? How do you feel when you see it on paper? What do you feel when you see it and you read it? Like, what's the first thing that comes up for you? And how do you resonate with the qualities, the potential, and the desires, and kind of what's laid out in those things? How does it make you feel? Do you resonate with it? Do you like it? Ask yourself that question. Then I want you to reflect on areas of your life where the North Node is already showing up, and it's kind of like guiding you to your goals and helping you out. And how do you feel about that? Are you drawn to it? Do you agree with it? If you don't agree with it, you may want to stop this video now. But if you agree with it, why do you agree with it? Are you embodying it? Are you doing it? What could you be doing a little bit more of? What could you be doing a little bit less of? For me, it's like boundaries and spending time on these things. But again, we're all different. How can you embrace the qualities of the North Node in your relationships? How can your interactions with people, or your career, or how you show up in the world, how can you start pulling more of that North Node in there? So that's kind of what we ask of the North Node. And the other question is, imagine your ideal future, imagine your ideal life, and look at what the North Node is saying that you kind of should be embodying or guided to. How does that make you feel? And how can you take steps to move towards that and, move to that area and embody that North Node energy? Now, we're not going to forget about the South Node, so let's do the South Node too. I want you to reflect on the positive qualities and aspects of the South Node and look at that and see how these traits and how this stuff has served you in your life and how it's shown up and how it's supported you. And the thing is, ask yourself if you're relying too heavy on that, if you're too comfortable with them, if it's holding you back, and how you can create balance between bringing some of that stuff into the North Node while also shifting it into that North Node energy. And then ask yourself, are those patterns and behaviors of the South Node holding you back? Or are they helping you progress? Progress? Are they helping you get progress? Are you progressing? There you go. That sounds better. And then ask yourself how you can integrate the wisdom that you got from your South Node experiences and how you can integrate that and have that support your North Node journey. And then I want you to ask yourself, how am I resisting embracing my North Node? How are my limiting beliefs? How are my bad behaviors? And how are these things holding me back, and how I can work on them? And then we're going to figure out how to balance these two nodes, because that's the goal, is to balance them. So ask yourself, how do I balance and strike this balance between the things that are familiar to me, my familiar strengths, as well as the things I may fear moving into and working into? And how do I integrate both of them and get them to basically live in harmony? And then I want you to find where you've already found a healthy balance between that North Node and that South Node vibe. What did you learn from all of that, and how you can continue to keep compounding that and adding that. And then in what ways can you practice self-compassion? In what ways can you give yourself a little bit of grace? And what kind of mini goals do you want to set up for your long-term goals when it comes to going into that North Node energy, so you can live authentically, so you can live aligned, so you can feel that you have that purpose you've been looking for, and you can be really, really proud of yourself. And again, none of this is going to be easy. So figure out how you can give yourself some of that compassion. I'm here and I'm proof to tell you that working on this has been one of of the biggest things that has helped me move forward. It's been one of the biggest things that has helped me feel more fulfilled and really just more aligned with who I am on the inside, that I was like really, really afraid for a really long time to kind of just do because of what I thought people might think or what they might not like, or they thought I would, think that I'm crazy for like wanting to do this and why all of a sudden I wanted to change. But it was something that I had been feeling for a really, really long time. And studying the North Node and the South Node really helped me finally push through and kind of like break through. I am no master at it. I am no expert. I am still working on it day by day. And yeah, like I've put off this video for days. By looking at celebrities and figuring out celebrities that were doing it really well, and in my case, Beyonce, who I absolutely love and adore, it really helped me kind of figure out how to step into this, and was kind of given like an example on ways that I could be doing it and showing up and still having community, which is super important to me, and also kind of sharing my own experiences and things, how to do it without really burning myself out, because like you can't show up for everyone and you got to take care of yourself. And so how do I take what I've learned? Okay, I make journals and I make planners and I make inspirational things. Like this is literally what I had on my phone, kept on my phone to inspire myself to take a rest and to take a break. And then I was like, oh, you know what? Maybe I should share this with people. And also maybe I should make it so you can like hang it up in your house and it's not on a notebook paper or a Post-it note like I originally had it. That's really helped me, and I really hope it helps you. And if you can sound off in the comments, I would really appreciate it, especially if you're a Leo North Node. If you're an Aquarius South Node, my God, your girl needs help. But definitely sound off in the comments and put your North Node, your South Node, so you can help people out, and maybe we can get a discussion going so we can all kind of be here for each other and yeah, have that community that I am constantly trying to create. That's it. I hope this was a good share. Follow, like, subscribe, and I will see you on the other side. Bye, guys.